So this is a vision of where the world of demand planning is headed, and it's from the point of view of our industry professionals at Accelytics. So first, a quick introduction of our Accelytics team. I'm Chris Loudit, and with me here today is Matt Russell, one of our subject matter experts and supply chain people from Accelytics. Last week, we talked about how businesses can use Anaplan to analyze various operational scenarios and select the one that makes the most sense to execute. So this week, the topic is a little different. We want to talk about the future of demand planning and from our point of view. So let's just jump in. First thing is the advanced analytics. Right now, demand planning is becoming more data-driven and precise, thanks to the integration of advanced analytics and artificial intelligence. Businesses are leveraging big data and machine learning algorithms to analyze historical sales data, customer behavior, and external factors to forecast demand more accurately. AI-powered demand planning tools can identify patterns and trends that human analysts might miss, leading to improved accuracy and efficiency. A good example of this is Anaplan PlanIQ. This product, which Accelytics has deployed at multiple customers, is a leading-edge technology utilizing both AI and ML. It allows our clients to easily incorporate related and causal data streams into the forecast. One example of that is that at a large plumbing industry supplier, we included industry data showing history and predictions on the number of retail locations. And this data correlates in with their history, and with the AI, it picks up to what extent that will affect the forecast. So that's a very neat usage that's already out there in the real world today. Okay, the next thing is real-time data and connectivity. So I'm sure you've heard about the rise of the Internet of Things and connected devices. So the rise of this and other connected devices is enabling businesses to access real-time data on product usage, on inventory levels, and on customer preferences. This real-time connectivity allows companies to adjust their demand planning strategies on the fly, responding quickly to changing market conditions and optimizing inventory levels. An emerging use of these devices is for tracking telemetry data on cases shipped across the supply chain. They can use cheap RFID tags that provide information to internet-connected devices in the trucks and the warehouses. And this can let a manufacturer know if the cases were kept at the right temperature or if anything was dropped, et cetera. Knowing the condition of this inventory at all times allows businesses to make better decisions and plan better to meet their customers' demand. Now, this technology is relatively new, but it's expanding rapidly and it's becoming more and more ubiquitous. The cost of the tags and the devices has continued to come down, and that's enabling more use cases to be deployed for this particular emerging technology. Okay, the next point is related to some processes that have been emerging. So there's three main ones out there that you hear a lot about: demand sensing, demand shaping, and demand influencing. So demand sensing is a more agile approach to demand planning that relies on real-time data and predictive analytics. So instead of relying solely on historical data, demand sensing incorporates up-to-date information to detect shifts in demand patterns and respond promptly to unexpected fluctuations. This enables businesses to be more proactive in meeting their customers' needs. Now, companies are increasingly using marketing and promotional strategies to influence customer demand. So by analyzing customer data and behavior, businesses can strategically shape demand for their products and services. Demand planning will play a crucial role in aligning these demand shaping efforts with production and supply chain capabilities. So all three of these things are continuing to evolve and grow and have their role in most companies' demand planning opportunities. Okay, another one is supply chain resilience. So this goes back to what happened in 2020 when the disruption that was caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, that kind of highlighted the importance of supply chain resilience to companies. So demand planning will need to, in the future, incorporate risk assessment and scenario modeling to prepare for potential disruptions and ensure continuity in the face of unforeseen events such as COVID-19. So other considerations, in addition to what we've talked about with the technology and the processes. So demand planning is no longer the sole responsibility of a single department. Collaborative planning involves cross-functional teams, including sales, marketing, finance, and supply chain working together to create a more comprehensive and accurate demand forecast. And this is something that Anaplan supports inherently in the tool, just because of the nature of how the tool is designed to be collaborative and cross-functional. Now, as customer preferences continue to evolve, demand planning will need to account for personalized and customized products. Mass customization and configure-to-order approaches will require agile demand planning processes to meet individual customer demands effectively. Demand planning is an ongoing process that requires constant monitoring and refinement. So that's why we say continuous improvement is so important. Businesses will need to embrace continuous improvement methodologies to enhance their forecasting accuracy, optimize inventory levels, and respond to market changes effectively. Overall, the future of demand planning in business revolves around harnessing technology, data, and analytics to create more agile, customer-centric, and sustainable strategies. Embracing these trends will be essential for companies to stay competitive and thrive in an ever-changing business landscape. So that was the kind of the overview and the theory of the main points about the future of demand planning. I want to pass it over to Matt Russell so he can go over a couple of slides from out of his experience and where from his point of view things are headed. And then after that, we'll do some questions for the panel.
I had the good fortune of working with a client that actually executed their demand plan at the sell-through level, which I understand is not common, but they had great relationships with their retailers, and they still had to fill in the data through a data science team, and we don't all have data science teams, but their ability to move to sell-through, the ability to move into forecasting sell-through, and the stories it helps to tell within your organization really kind of made me pause and think about what could be. And through a little bit of research, independent retailers are adopting inventory control software about rate of 25 to 30% of new users a year. That's averaged from 2020 during COVID through 2023, where we're seeing 2023 uptick slightly as well, right? So the insight and deployment of inventory is increasing in availability and sophistication. The data is coming out of just the box stores, or it's coming out of the box. It's going to be in your independents. It's going to be in your retailers. It's going to be in the smaller places that are going to be able to increase your visibility to what you have deployed in the field. And then once you have an idea of what's deployed in the field, you can decide at an organizational level, do we continue to forecast at the sell-through level, or excuse me, at the sell-in level, or are we better off at moving to sell-through? But at any rate, when we break them down, we facilitate some conversations and some S&OP-esque conversations that continue on a regular basis within CPG companies, right? So if we're talking about managing a sell-through forecast, we have visibility to stagnating inventory in the field. So you've got a big launch coming up. Does customer X have enough open to buy with you because they're sitting on 3-generation-old product? That's headwinds for your sales department. That's headwinds for successful launch that you're investing in. And this is actually the sell-through when you want to talk about measuring the effectivity of advertising programs or promotional programs. It's really at the sell-through, because you may see a 5% uplift across your entire business, but it's hidden within some customers because they were already fat on that inventory. So it didn't trigger them to pull in another sell-in, but it did decrease their inventory and your advertising was successful. Obviously, we always need to circle back to the sell-in forecast because that's what we owe our shareholders. That's what we owe our stakeholders. This is our revenue recognition. This is organizational budgeting. This is where FP&A, this is where supply planning, this is where demand planning is all going to come in. But it'd be interesting to start with a sell-through forecast, net your sell-through forecast, and end up with a sell-in forecast by customer in the long term. And so now you're talking about the headwinds upstream. Now you're talking about the revenue recognition, your S&OP, and then that comes down to your supply strategy. And then are your targeted days of inventory based upon a global or regional look, or including what's in the field, or is it just what you own in the warehouse? Because your overall exposure, or the market's overall exposure to your product, is what's in the field plus what's in your warehouse plus what's you're currently in your WIP. So you want to be able to get that connected planning, the connected delivery that Anaplan can bring, so you have that full suite of visibility from start from supply all the way through to the sell-through forecast in terms of approaching and evaluating where you want to execute your demand plan, and then what that means to you further down once you reach supply strategy. A little bit of the sell-through forecasting, we see the stagnating of inventory, the revenue recognition, and targeted days of inventory based on global inventory or just warehouse inventory.
Okay, excellent. That's a great example. And I think that really plays into this very well. Thank you. Okay, let's go to our questions. First one I have is, how will AI be used for demand planning in the future? So I'll answer it, and then if you want to add anything, Matt, you can as well. So AI, it does not improve the math when you're talking about demand planning. So the theory behind predicting the future is based on Bayesian statistical theory, and AI doesn't change that in any way. So it's not inherently more accurate. What it does do is it allows you to find insights and correlations that may not be apparent to humans or to the average person who's trying to manage. And that's how it's being used today, and how it will continue to be used in the future. And the way it does that will improve and will evolve over time as well. So then, are there any other emerging technologies that we should be aware of? So I think so, yes. See, technology is progressing at a very fast pace. We need to be open-minded to things that may disrupt existing processes. So systems and processes are evolving every day, and what leads the way today may only be temporary. Something could come and replace it tomorrow. I think one of the advantages of Anaplan software is that since it's on a platform, it makes it easy for you to adopt a new process if something comes out that is better. So as these technologies and processes are evolving, there's more opportunity to deploy them with a system like Anaplan. So that's one of the great strengths.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, as with any emerging technologies, we see the price fall after introduction. And that's across whether it's tools for the business or your television sets. High introduction price for the pioneers and your early adopters, and then a price coming back to the pack as it's been refined and used more and more widely adopted.
Good point. Yeah, thank you. So, okay, and then number 3, what is happening to the global supply chain, and where is that headed? So there's obviously a lot happening there. So there are many changes occurring now, and a lot of it is a result of geopolitics, also things that happened after the pandemic, where a lot of companies and supply chains were heavily reliant on certain regions like China. So I think the only constant is actually change. So right now, some of the things that you'll see and are seeing as far as the environment changing are nearshoring. And so a lot of American companies, for example, are adding manufacturing capacity in Mexico, Canada, other closer partners, as opposed to going all the way to Asia Pacific for everything. And so a lot of that is happening, and certain countries are being considered less stable to do business with. So, and therefore supply chains are rapidly changing right now and evolving. And that will continue to be the case. Some countries are just going down the path of deglobalizing and becoming more independent. And so that is a trend that will likely continue into the future. Anything to add on that one?
Yeah, I think from, an American company kind of frame of mind, I think the biggest thing that I think about on that global supply chain is, to my knowledge, there's no major infrastructure that's going to put another deep water port off the Pacific coast of the U.S. It's still going to be squeezed through your existing ports. And that is proven to be just a significant bottleneck as we continue to offshore to China and to Southeast Asia and around the Pacific Rim in general. That the bottlenecks at those ports will continue to be a challenge to supply chain organizations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Definitely makes sense. Okay, and then number 4 is, what are companies like Anaplan doing to prepare for the future? So I would say Anaplan is continuously updating the platform to add relevant functionality to support their customers. They have an inherent advantage over their competitors because the system is based on a platform, a development platform, which makes it more agile and flexible to support customers in a rapidly changing environment. Anything to add on that one?
when we take a look at Anaplan, when what we saw was when they saw a gap in AI, they went aggressively and found solutions for that gap in AI. It wasn't all in-house. They went aggressively and found a solution and brought it to the marketplace in a fast manner. And that would be what I expect from them in the future.
Yeah, me too. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I think that wraps up the content part of this. Please check out our YouTube channel because we are uploading new webinars every week from different perspectives and different parts of our team. So feel free to check those out. And if you have any interest in other topics, you can let us know and we can address those topics as we see them come in. So thanks again, everybody, for watching, and have a great rest of your day.